Namaste everyone and welcome to Data Millennials. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Excel series. In this video we are going to discuss how we can get distinct count in Excel pivot. In our previous video I have shown you how to create a pivot table and different operations on pivot table. And let's go see how we can get distinct count from a pivot table in this video. So I have this transaction data here where I have customer number and date of transaction, what kind of expense it was, and at which place the transaction has been performed, as well as the country of the customer. And this column I, country, is the country in which transaction is performed. And the last column I have here is the count of customer. This means that this customer number is repeating 7 times in our data. Now think of a question where I want to get unique customers from each country. If I create a pivot table and if I want to get the distinct count or the unique count of customer, it won't be possible. So let me show you. I have selected this entire range. Now I'll go to insert and click on pivot table and then new sheet, and then I'll click on OK. So I want distinct count of customer from each country, right? So I've selected the country in rows. You can see that you have this unique countries here, right? And if I want to get the unique count of customer, then what I need to do is that I need to get the count of customer number here, right? So by default it has taken sum, but I'll change it to count. Now you can see that in Algeria we have 3,556 customer, but if I go to my transaction data and if I apply filter and then if I select Algeria here, I can see that the total count is 3,566. But the thing is, this particular customer is repeating 7 times. So let's go to the top and see. This particular customer is also repeating 7 times. This particular customer is also repeating 7 times. This customer has only one transaction, right? So we will have our duplicacy in data and we won't be able to get the unique counts, right? So currently it's showing us the count of records. It's not showing us the count of each unique customer. In order to get the unique count for customers, what we need to do is that we need to create a data model in pivot table. And to do that, what you have to do is that you have to again select this entire range first of this data. So once you have this create pivot table dialog open, then click or check this button, add this data to data model, and click on OK. So before clicking on OK, let's take this pivot table or place this pivot table in the same sheet which we have used earlier, sheet number 4. Now the pivot table now you can see the initial difference between data model pivot table and a simple pivot table. Okay, so I have clicked on this simple pivot table. You will see that the pivot table fields option here, it's coming in different way as compared to the data model pivot table. The interface looks different. The reason behind it is that this is a simple pivot table, while this pivot table which we have created here is a data model pivot table. We'll do the same thing. I'll select country of customer in rows and I'll take the count of our customer number. Now at the first point you will see that the numbers are same, because right now in this data model pivot table I have taken the count, and in this simple pivot table I have also taken the count. It doesn't fulfill our purpose or it doesn't answer our question, right? In order to get the unique count, what you need to do is that you need to go to values, then click on this small drop down, click on value field setting, then scroll down. You will see this distinct count option in this data model pivot, and it's available only in this data model pivot. So click on this distinct count and click OK. Now you will see that the number has decreased. Currently this pivot table is showing us unique count of customer number for each country, while in this pivot table you will have count of customer number, whether it's repeating 10 times, 20 times or 50 times. So the another difference between simple pivot table and this data model pivot table is that if you go to this simple pivot table and again go to values, click on this small drop down, click on value field setting, you won't see, if you scroll down, you won't see this distinct count option under this summarize value by, while in this data model pivot table you will have that option. So this is how you get the distinct count of a attribute. So we have reached at the end of this video. In our next video I'll introduce you to slicers. Hey, if you find this video insightful, then do check out other videos and hit the like and subscribe button.